Alright guys, we're going live.
You're going live?
Oh, it's saying rotate your phone. You can't turn your phone while recording. Is this okay?
Yeah, now try.
Oh, I think it's...
It says live, Dylan. That
I
means
know.
we're live.
I think
Do
it's
I
on
have
the-
to tell you everything? Jeez.
I think I have to hold it vertical though.
Well, I don't think so, because it looks like it's... See, people are watching.
Individual?
Yeah,
That's
alright.
yourself.
All right.
We'll do it.
As long as it doesn't say dead, we're okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Huh? You said this load of food just came in from an individual, not a...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just the individual guy. Bottom on that one, Mary. Watch out. Yeah, the bottom's open on that one. Oh, good grief.
Well, that's a lot of stuff.
From that one gentleman. Yeah, just that one guy. Just put this all the way down.
There you
Here,
go.
Rusty, how about you hand that to me?
I'll hand that to you. Give him our thanks.
Oh, we did.
It's amazing.
All right.
Are we still alive?
We are.
We're
yeah.
live on Facebook, I assume.
I'm just trying not to get in people's way now.
Now that's extraordinary to have an individual
That is
Such a-
fantastic.
load of food like that.
Yeah, it is a little.
And it's, honestly, it's not even unusual. That's
No.
the beauty of, being here this week. We have a lot of people that roll up in here in pickup trucks with cases and cases and cases of food. I mean, we couldn't keep doing this
Yeah.
if we didn't have those people.
Yeah, and last year I remember a lot of businesses showed up.
Yeah.
Um,
And we're expecting, I think almost all of them are back on board again this year.
and I was talking to the AirServe guys.
Yes, Ray and Tina.
And they said they talk about how they tell all their clients about this particular event, as well as CCAP off and on during the year. So they're always at it.
Yeah.
And when the businesses do that, and they also do it through the chamber, that makes things happen.
Yep, the RSW Regional Jail is doing collections. Marlowe Motors is stuffing the bus. Shenandoah Ford, Shenandoah Buick is stuffing the bus. Bill Long at Bill Long's Auto Care Clinic. Riverton United Methodist Church is doing collections. Warren County Veterinary Clinic is doing collections. So if you can't get to the bus, that covers pretty much all of Front Royal. So you can get to any one of those places.
Yeah, that's going to be good. We, hey Janet,
Hi.
got some flyers for us.
Awesome. Well, you can give those to your volunteers to hand out to people when they bring
go.
food.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
there's our volunteers right here.
Volunteers. There you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
There you go.
All right.
Who's doing?
Are we ready?
We're ready to go live.
Hello and welcome to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We are live and we are local from the Camping for Hunger bus in the Rural King Royal Plaza Shopping Center in front of Rural King. Let's see if you can say that next time, Larry.
We're right where we are.
I am sitting on the bus today with Larry Elliott. He is the president of the Front Royal Warren County CCAP, and we are so excited because we have had a stellar showing already today. I mean, we haven't even been here a few hours, and we've got bags and bags and bags of food. We've collected a couple $100 already. That's got to make you feel good.
It does, and because of the 10-year anniversary, this looks like the 10th year is going to be the big deal year for everybody, right?
Well, you're the big deal.
I'm the big deal.
I've been listening to your public
Yes,
service announcements on the air. You're the big deal, Larry.
Well, it's the 40th anniversary year of CCAP, the 10th year for the bus, and we want it to be the biggest year ever because we need this to really be a big deal. This is again a big deal because this is the largest single collection of food in a year that we get. This is where we get the most in terms of the total pounds of food and the amount of cash and gift cards and so forth. This is where it all comes in, and it's such a big deal that we integrate it with some of our other inventory, and the last of this food will disappear in April, May. It lasts that long.
And that's crazy. I mean, we knew when we were filling the bus, over the last several years, as the bus gets, more and more full, we know that it's got to last you a while, but That is kind of crazy. The first time you told me that personally, that this will get you through April, sometimes May, was just mind blowing.
Well, here's how it works. The balance between food, non-perishable food, cash and gift cards makes it work. So last year we got 16,000 pounds of food. We had about $9,000 in cash and gift cards. With the $9,000, I can get another 16,000 pounds of food, maybe even more. And with the gift cards, the grocery stores, from grocery stores, we're able to get fresh foods that Janet Harshman manages for our program for the young families who need access to fresh food. They don't have access to it. So the balance between what we get here starts us out from November, December, January. The cash kicks in, we go to the food bank. We get food there unlike anywhere else you can get in terms of cost. And then we get in, the gift cards will start as soon as we get them. So that's how it works.
Well, and that's, an important point when you're talking about fresh food, because I tend to this week spend a fair amount of time on my soapbox. And it always, we are very grateful for anything anybody brings. But I like to at least say, look, don't go through your pantry and pull your expired food. Don't go and pull food that you're not going to eat. Think about the people that you're bringing this food for, and bring things that you would want to eat or that you would want to feed your children. Don't bring a bunch of junk that you wouldn't let your kids eat. You guys really strive to find that happy balance so that you're providing the people who need your services with food that is healthy, and now you've got the fresh food aspect of it.
Absolutely. We've been thinking about that for a long time. And we've been thinking about, I call it nutritional literacy for our clients. What can we do to help them learn more about the value and benefit of fresh foods? And that's part of the idea of having a 72-inch wide double-door cooler with fresh foods displayed in it so people can see it and they know that they usually can't get it, and it makes this one of our popular programs. So bring in really fresh nutritional food. If you come and present a gift card to us from one of the grocery stores, you can hold that gift card in front of my face and say, look, here's some bananas and grapes and corn or whatever you want from that right side of the aisle over there. That's how we want it to work.
Well, and we see over the course of the week that we'll be collecting food, we see, sometimes we joke about how many cans of green beans. Or, one year it was corn. We must have had 30,000 cans of corn. It's like it's probably what's on sale, which is fine. But that does make it a little more complicated for you guys, because the people that are coming to your food pantry might want something other than corn. So the gift cards also come in handy for you to be able to kind of spread out the variety, so to speak.
That's right. It gives us a broader menu. We put that on top of the menu that we have access to in the food bank, and all of a sudden we have a pretty good stable menu. The other key to the balance between cash and gift cards and bringing in physical food is if we got all physical food, it stresses our ability to store it and to move it. So this weighs, last year 16,000 pounds. I think a couple years ago we got 25,000 pounds. So that's a lot of storage challenge. Doug Stanley, your friend and mine,
I adore Doug.
He's helped us get through this year after year after year. But we want to make it so that we can balance that too, so that we don't stress our storage. The county's been great. Everyone's been great about that. But now we've got the flexibility that we can maneuver around these challenges a little bit.
So tell me a little bit about who we're collecting this food for.
Well, let's look at some of the numbers here. Approximately, we've got 40,000 people in Warren County, about 15,000 in the city of Front Royal. So we have 2,700 families that represent 7,000 people. About 1,500 of those people are kids. So those are the numbers of our clients. And we have a little bit of rotation each year. I call them graduates. People graduate from our program.
We've had them bring food in years past.
Absolutely. We have them work in this plaza, get jobs in this plaza, and actually help collect money for CCAP. They were graduates of the program. And so that's kind of a little demographic of what we're dealing with as a part of the population of Warren County. This is a safety net program. We're not here to be a country club for life. We're here when you have an emergency and you need a little help to get through that period of time. That's why we're here, to help people graduate, be self-sufficient. That's more fun, being self-sufficient.
Well, and that's kind of you sometimes hear it's a double-edged sword. Well, who are these people and why don't they get jobs, or why don't they, help themselves? I've talked a lot to United Way, and I know about the Alice report, the asset limited, income constrained employed. That's who a lot of your clients are. They have jobs,
Absolutely.
but they have kids. They have two jobs, sometimes three jobs. And it's still tough just to pay the rent, pay the electric, keep the lights on, that sort of thing, and put good quality nutritional food on the table.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, and the other thing, the families that we serve, some of the families that we serve have been making it pretty well for a long period of time. All of a sudden, they don't. And I challenge anybody to live off the income that a lot of our people live off of.
Yeah.
And still be able to do what they do. So these people are working hard. I mean, if I had everybody in Front Royal and Warren County in front of me right now, I'd say, please raise your hand if you want to be poor, right? If you don't want to be
nobody's gonna,
no. So they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure they don't have to stay there.
Well, and I know in a lot of cases, there's a huge part of our population that are making it. They're barely making it, but they are literally one illness, one car breakdown, one major family emergency away from not being able to make it. And that's kind of where you guys step in and help get them over that hump.
Absolutely. I heard a story. I think over the Bridge Out of Poverty seminar program. It said this lady drives up to social services, and she's in a Mercedes. This is maybe an 8, 9, 10-year-old Mercedes, and everybody's jaw dropping. She's coming in to get served. Well, it took a couple of illnesses in her family. They lost their house. The only thing they had that was paid for was that car, and that car sent out the wrong message to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But they were just as much in need as anybody who's ever been in need. So we can't judge, the book by the cover. We got 2,700 families. There are 2,700 stories, each one of them different, and they deserve a little special attention just because of the situation they're in. And that's what we're doing. That's what community is in Front Royal and Warren County doing. You guys are helping with these 2,700 families.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about maybe some of the specific things that people can do to help, because we talked a little bit about gift cards and cash. We'll talk about some of the food. And I want to make sure people understand who these people are in a little bit more detail. I know you have some stories and some things like that, and that there are income requirements, and you're not just handing this food out to anybody who comes and knocks on the door.
Yeah, there's a process.
Perfect. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. We are broadcasting live from the Camping for Hunger bus in Royal Plaza Shopping Center. We are directly across the parking lot from Rural King. So come on by, bring us a check, bring us $1, bring us a can of corn or some peas. We'll take everything. We're here 24/7 through Saturday morning, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with more Valley Today. We're talking to Larry Elliott. He is the president of Warren County, Front Royal Warren County CCAP, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
So tell them, don't bring us a live duck from Rural King. That could happen.
All right. Yay. Absolutely.
Is the mic check okay?
We're off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You sound fine. Lonnie hasn't texted me and told me that
You want over here?
it's too bad. So when we come back, what do you want to talk about next? Let's make sure we get everything in that you want to be able to say on the first day.
Well, we can talk about. Let's see if you think this is appropriate. For the first time last year, the IRS gave us some guidelines that told us what the total market value of all the goods and services that we provide to the community is in terms of a dollar bill, and it was $451,000.
Wow. Yes. So let's talk about that and talk about how, because part of that is volunteer hours.
Yeah, so
People who volunteer, that has a value.
actually, if we add the volunteer hours, it gets closer to 600,000.
Really?
Yeah. Now here's what the point I want to make. That's not CCAP. That is the entire community effort flowing through CCAP, getting back out into the community. $500,000 or so, not bad. So that's the importance. Now, if that went away suddenly, or even if it gradually went away, this would be bad.
Yeah, it would be earth-shattering.
Now, in the stories, I guess there's one story in particular. Well, maybe two. There's a lady who's...
See, I knew you had some.
I'd have to remember her, right? So she sends a message. We got our new CCAP email, ourccap@gmail.com, and now we get emails on a daily basis. So I got my son was murdered, and we had to go to trial. We had to do all this stuff, and I've lost all my money and so forth and so on. And I wanted to know if you guys could, give any cash compensation. And she was in another county, and she needed it for utility assistance.
Oh, wow.
She was a couple counties away, and I said, well, unfortunately,
Hang on, Kemp's talking. That means
Okay.
we're gonna be back in a minute.
Well, we'll get to, I'll tell a story. Maybe that one, maybe another one. I don't know. We need to talk about.
They live right on the corner of Boysville Road and Farmtown Road. So, yeah, it's right near my house. It's not far. Swing by on the way back. Yeah, I called his wife.
I hate when he does that to me. I'm supposed to come back when Kemp is done, but every once in a while they'll slide something else in.
It's always, I want to try to remember about Warren County Resources.
Okay.
That's an app I'm talking about.
Welcome back to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. We are live broadcasting from the Camping for Hunger bus in the Royal Plaza Shopping Center. We are going to be here all week. I'm doing the show live from the bus all week. Dylan's doing the news live. Randy and Dylan are going to do the morning show in the morning. Lonnie's going to do afternoon traffic jam. Friday we are live from like 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the goal is that Lonnie, who is supposed to be spending the last night on the bus, that he's got to sleep in his car. So that's our mission and our goal to you, Larry, is that the bus is going to be so full of food that we have to sleep outside.
That's perfect. We can actually fill his car too, so he can sleep over here at Rural King somewhere.
Well, I will say that we are getting a pallet of food from Skanks.
Wow.
Over in Winchester. They're donating a pallet of food, so he's going to go pick that up on Thursday. So he's not even going to be able to sleep in the back of his truck because it's going to be full of food too.
Yeah.
So that's got to be one of the best things. I mean, this week is crazy for us, but it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
And it's truly something to watch, to see the people just driving up in their cars, dropping off food to help you help people.
Yeah, it's never has such a short little week produced such a large impact. This is high impact business when you do it this way. You have one place people come to, make it very convenient. They can bring, physical food. They can bring cash, gift cards, make it all easy. And that's the whole design of this program here, is to make it easy. And guess what? When you make it easy, people show up.
Yeah. Well, and we joked at the beginning of the show about your public service announcements, and you're a big deal. So we know you're a big deal. But you were telling me during the break about some numbers that you got from the IRS.
Yeah. Well, we got a guideline last year for the first time that was able to put a dollar figure about the value of everything we do. Maybe we do 20 tons of food, we do 12,000 items of clothing, we have some limited emergency cash stuff that we do with people. Anyway, we followed their guidelines. We had an official audit by an official accountant to figure out what was the total market value of all the goods and services that we provided for Royal Warren County. And it was $451,000, not counting the volunteer hours. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that is a really big deal. And volunteers are important. I mean, we, in a sense, are, having community volunteers, and that they're volunteering money out of their checkbooks to come and drop off food and those sorts of things. But we've got a bunch of volunteers out here now. I mean, we've got Rusty is here, Mary is here from the Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints. They're going to be at the bus. They offered to come help us all week get food out of trucks.
Yeah, there are 10 people who signed up. There are people from the CCAP office. CCAP office guys have been working all morning doing the volunteer work, hundreds and hundreds of hours, thousands throughout the year. And so the local congregations now also come out and help us do this or whatever else we need them to do to make the program work. And that's what makes it a valuable thing. If we added up the total value of every volunteer hour from any other place in the world, I don't know how much it'd be. Probably worth $600,000-$700,000.
Oh, easily.
But the big point there, that's not CCAP money. That is the fruits of the labor of every person in the county who supports this program. It's your $451,000 that's making it out into the countryside and into the city. And this is a benefit that is high impact, and we must keep it up.
Well, and so that brings me to, we talked right before we went to break. I was going to have you tell me some stories. So I'm going to say, tell me a story, Larry. Give the people that are listening a sense of what kind of impact just bringing a bag with a couple of cans of food in it has on the people that you're serving.
Well, when I was first on the board as a director of development about 5 or 6 years ago, I wandered into the CCAP offices one afternoon when no one was there. I was trying to install a computer. And boy, did I mess that up. But anyway, the phone rings, and I don't know if I should answer this or not, but I answered it, and it was a young lady who was a CCAP client. And she said, because of your help, I'm about to be able to get a job, but I just need 1 more month's worth of assistance, and so particularly in the limited emergency financial aid program. And if you can help me do that, then I can get that job. And she did get the job, and that's where I came across with the idea of a graduate. She was the first graduate that I saw. She got the job, and boy, was she happy to tell me that she got that job. And she went out into the community, and she may be one of the ones that's helping us out today, for all I know. There are others who are other stories that come in. Now that we got our new CCAP email, it's ourccap@gmail.com. That's the first thing I do is check our Gmail every morning. I get people who say, we want to volunteer. I had one this morning, actually, says they want to come in and volunteer for CCAP. I've had cases where people will come in and say, I need your help. Can you refer me? We have lots of cases. I had a person who lost her house, her husband, she lost her husband as well, and she was in desperate need. We were able to take her in pretty quickly. We've had people from other counties that we couldn't take in because of where they were, but because, again, our man Doug Stanley and Michelle Smeltzer put together this app. I call it the Killer App.
Yes.
Warren County Resources. You can download this app, and it can refer you to every kind of social service that's available in this town and in this county. And it's
It gives you
amazing.
contact
Yes.
information, it gives you phone numbers, it gives you addresses for where people are, it gives you a list of what the different services are that all of these different places offer.
Yeah.
Michelle came into the show several months ago, and I was just blown away by the work and the amount of time that she put into having this, and it is a phenomenal resource.
It really is. And Michelle is so responsive. I said, well, we don't have it for the Android. They're working on that, right?
Yes.
And she said, well, I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, that's because iPhone's a real phone. Dylan
It is.
will attest to that. We're Apple people, so
He's a DJ man, so he can do it. But I said, I don't know. Some of our people don't have phones at all, right? And hours pass, and she comes back. She said, I got a source document. You can convert it into Word. So it's 51 pages. But it's somewhere in CCAP right now, and if somebody who doesn't know how to use a phone, they can flip right through it. The thing that used to worry me the most is if I get this email or telephone call and I need a referral, how am I going to figure it out? Well, now I know.
now you have a directory to be able to go to. Awesome. Well, I tell you what, let's take one more quick break. When we come back, we'll do a quick rundown of all of the things, wish list wise, you would love for people to bring by the bus while we're here for the rest of the week. We are broadcasting live for the Valley today. We're on the Camping for Hunger bus. We're in the Royal Plaza Shopping Center directly across the parking lot from Rural King. So swing by. We've got volunteers waiting to take your canned goods and your gift cards and your cash out of the trunk of your car, out of your back seat, or however you want to bring them to us. We will take them all week. We are here 24/7 on the Camping for Hunger bus. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Larry Elliott. He is with Front Row Warren County CCAP. That's who we're doing all of this collection for. So be a part of your community. Come out and say hi.
How did it go today? You worked on it.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be a holiday, but
These are not conducive to air.
It's glamorous radio right there. There's a reason they don't see us.
couldn't do anything financial because everybody else is closed, but that's okay. Right thing.
Well, Janet, we had like 6 or 7 people at once at one point.
And then they ditched us.
Ditched us.
So rude.
No one's watching right now, but I'm keeping it alive. We're going for it.
Danger real.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, perfect detergent.
Okay.
I love my friends who know I'm on the air and are still texting me in the middle of the show.
Hey, I hear you on the radio.
It drives me nuts when people do that. Yeah.
Hygiene products. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you hear me, you know I'm doing 1,000 cases of corn.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's becoming more. You've got to remind.
It's okay, Nikki. You don't have to bring me coffee later, but I appreciate the thought. You can bring me coffee tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday.
She's dropped off.
She's texting me.
Oh, is she texting you?
I think they're $100 increments.
We had Jerry Manico at one point
Oh,
watching.
Jerry Manico.
Joe Woodall.
He can come build me a
I
fire.
didn't look in the bag.
Joe Woodall's bringing me the fire truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday's the big day,
Yes,
man.
Wednesday
When
we've
that
got a
helicopter
big-
comes.
Somebody handed me that, but
I know, but it's probably.
We've got. Should probably be paying attention. We've got a big deal coming on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Larry's a big deal, but we got a bigger deal.
Oh,
It's gonna
yeah.
land from the sky in the parking lot.
That's how they
Like,
work.
That's how it was.
well,
Air Care is coming Wednesday at 4:00 in a helicopter, and they're gonna land right here in the parking lot, bring us their food donation, and then stay for an hour, hour and a half, and do demos and stuff from the helicopter.
who's this?
Air Care, the
The
helicopter.
Oh, that goes to the Warren Hospital.
Yep.
With trauma
Yep.
people. Oh. Oh.
Yep. I got to get, if Jerry Manico watches again, he needs to get out here today so we can figure out where they're going to land.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that was some Uncle
All right,
Sam
are we
stuff.
ready?
Oh, okay.
There's some money.
95.3. Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We've got a couple of minutes left. We've got a couple of minutes left of the Valley today, but we've got several days left here on the Camping for Hunger bus. We are sitting here right now talking with Larry Elliott. He is the president of Front Royal Warren County CCAP. And so, Larry, we've talked about the good that just a can or two of food will do, the good that a gift card or cash will do. We've talked about the impact that it has on the people who are, taking advantage of CCAP services. So if you had to make a wish list right now, what in your wildest dreams, what would you love to see happen this week?
I would like to see the variety go beyond food. And let me tell you how. And Janet reminded me of this. We have a huge pent-up demand for laundry detergents, soaps, toiletries, paper towels, all this kind of stuff that we don't, when you're looking at food, we don't think about that.
Right.
Things like, washcloths, can openers, all these kinds of things. So the other side of the box of food is how do you get into it?
Right.
How do you clean up after it? All this kind of stuff. So I'd like to see that become an important segment of what goes on here, because our people need that almost as much as they need food. Food is essential and vital to everything, but that's another thing. And the other thing is, as you said earlier, whatever you're picking up a can of food or whatever it is, take a look at it. Try to get stuff that is nutritious. I heard it the other day on the radio that a guy said that 74% of most of the foods that are in our grocery stores are spiked with extra salt and extra sugar, other stuff that your grandmother could never pronounce. If your grandmother cannot pronounce it, do not eat it.
But
That's a
it
big
tastes
group.
so good.
Yeah, and it'll
I like
keep
those
tasting,
are my favorite foods.
it'll keep tasting good until you don't feel good
I
anymore.
know, right.
But I would say that keep bring us the food, the non-perishables, the kid-friendly stuff, the nutritious, real juices that aren't spiked with other stuff. Just be mindful of that. Take your kids shopping with you. Let them be a
Yes.
part of picking out the menu. Take your 5-year-old. You know what your 5-year-old likes. We got 5-year-olds among our clients. They are our clients. So that's part of what.
And that's the coolest thing. We saw this morning, we had some people come by when we were just getting everything connected and set up, and this cute little boy come bouncing out of the car, could not have been more excited that he had this bag that he was able to bring. We gave him a little I donated sticker, and you would have thought that, that just completely and totally made his day. And that's the key too, because you need to be able to we need to sustain this week. But we need to sustain this over the course of a lifetime, and we're not going to do that if we as parents don't instill in our children the importance of being able to give back and be a part of our community.
This week we have a whole week in front of us to create a whole new set of really good habits that'll last us through the rest of the year. And let's practice those habits every day this week by bringing the food, doing the donations, and so forth. Aiden Atwood's going to come in.
He's coming
later
on Friday, yes.
Here's a kid. I think this is the 3rd year. He's donated half of his produce takes that he does in the summertime through his little garden. He gives half of it to CCAP in the form of a check. And I know he's thinking about himself and his other kids that he knows in school. He knows that he knows what he's giving to.
Yes, he does, absolutely. So, well, we're going to wrap up here. Lonnie hasn't turned my music on yet, Dylan, but I'm guessing that I'm still going to be clocking down my time here in a minute. So, if you go to our website, go to theriver953.com. On the front page, you're going to see a Camping for Hunger image. You can download a food checklist. Gives you a list of things that you can pick up at the grocery store. You can swing by the bus on your way to Martin's, to Aldi, to Rural King, to Shop and Save, to any of the grocery stores, and know what they really need and be able to pick all that stuff up. We are broadcasting live for the Valley today from the Camping for Hunger bus. Somebody's going to be on the bus even when we're not broadcasting live, so you can still come by. We've got a ton of volunteers out front. Larry, thanks for coming to hang out with me. I know you're coming back throughout the week.
I am coming back, and I just wanted to say something that I figured out. I did the work mathematically on this with Lonnie the other day. Thank you for all your work. We figured out that River 95.3 does 95.3% of the work.
Yes,
Huh?
and I do 98.5% of that. But we're done and we're out.
She's nothing if not modest.
He's going to yell at me because my music was playing. I just had the headphones turned
You
down.
weren't listening.
So, because I forgot. And
Yeah,
I'm
when
like,
you
oh,
turn
yeah,
the jack
I didn't turn
down.
it up so I didn't hear it.
All right,